One of the protesters was carried off the field by England wicketkeeper Jonny Bairstow. The match was about to begin with Australia batting and England bowling when the intruders came on and threw orange paint across the wicket. In a statement, the chief executive of Marylebone Cricket Club, Guy Lavender, said, "We condemn in the strongest possible terms today's pitch incursion and with the behaviour of the protesters involved. Their actions not only endanger themselves and those who work at the ground, but they have consistently shown complete disregard for the people who pay to attend events, not just here at Lord's, but around the country at other sporting venues." Well, our sport correspondent Rob Harris sent this update.
The England player Jonny Bairstow intervened himself and carried off one of the protesters as they launched that orange powder on the field here at Lord's. We just had the first over of the second Ashes test with Australia batting, England bowling, and it was the latest in what we've seen a series of similar protests at sporting events in recent weeks and months. We had orange powder thrown on the table at the World Snooker Championships in April, then on the pitch at the Rugby Premiership final at Twickenham last month, and now today on the first day of the second test. And there was swift intervention, as I say, with Jonny Bairstow himself intervening to block one of the protesters, but he had actually had time to unleash the orange powder on the pitch. At the same time, another protester was also dispersing the orange powder on the pitch as stewards intervened. And then there was a clear-up operation underway that was actually dealt with fairly quickly before play could resume. Obviously, the latest in a series of the climate protests by the Just Stop Oil campaign, and it has been a concern for various sports event organisers, but so difficult job for the stewards to actually be able to prevent them getting onto the pitch. And there were actually cheers as the protesters were apprehended, and then they were able to actually swiftly resume the play. I mean, we have heard obviously other sporting events where there have been protests, like at the horse racing, about the dangers it poses. Here, obviously, less so with the more genteel surroundings, but certainly those who've come for their day of cricket, seeing the disruption, and obviously they'll be discussing here, you'd imagine, to ensure there aren't repeated protests too. But certainly the scenes are something we have actually been anticipating across the sporting summer, particularly from Just Stop Oil protesters. We've had animal welfare activists as well at horse racing, but certainly it has been something that they have been trying to keep a watch on. We've heard yesterday from the organisers of the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, which will be next month, in terms of warning protesters there against trying to intervene on the motor racing circuit, where there be far greater dangers. But this is the latest in a series of protests, which, of course, the climate protesters say is necessary to put pressure on the government themselves.
Well, in the last few minutes, we've had word from the Prime Minister's official spokesman who's commented on this, saying these sorts of selfish guerrilla tactics are why we've introduced new measures. The PM thanks security measures and the swift hands of Bairstow. There's a reason we empowered police to take action, they say. So the Prime Minister thanking security and Jonny Bairstow for their action on this.